All right, good afternoon. How y'all doing out there? We really appreciate y'all coming out here to honor the life of our dear friend and compatriot these last 50 some odd years, Neil Pederson. We're gonna start this off with having a chance for people who'd like to come up and say something about Neil to come up and say something about Neil. And we're gonna start off with family members first. And we have the honor of having his brother here, Dr. Chris Pederson. And his kids, etc. You don't have to come up quite yet. Hang on. I'm going to talk for just a second. No, come on up. I'm just kidding. You have to walk around the other side. It's kind of hard, so watch out over there by the bongos. Literally, there's bongos on the floor. Thank you, Karen. Floor bongos. So, those of you who knew Neil, one of the funny things was people would always say things like, he's so quiet. And he wasn't. He talked a lot, and he liked to be a smartass, is what he would call it. He liked to be snarky. I don't know if you guys remember this or not. Yes. And so to start out by honoring that tonight, I'd just like to say, Neil, you inconsiderate bastard. You were supposed to play at my funeral, but instead I got to book somebody else. Let's hear it for his brother, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Chris Pederson.
I want to thank all y'all for coming out. It's really nice. Sorry, I know some of you very well. Some of you I don't know at all. But, Neil was 2 years younger than me. And when I was about 5 or 6, I started reading him the funny papers. And when he got to the first grade, they had to give him the 5th grade book to read. Neil was brilliantly smart. A lot of people maybe do and don't realize that, but he was so brilliant. And my cousin sent me a little note after he passed, and she was much older, and it was at UT, and Neil was like 8 years old. And Neil said, "So Mary Ellen, what are you studying?" And she said, "Well, I'm learning about DNA." And she said Neil sat down and drew DNA for her and explained it to her. So that's the way Neil was. I came up to UT in 1970, and I was a trumpet player in the Longhorn Band. And there was a kid there that played the trombone. He didn't really play it. If you know this guy, that's the way he was. He had valve trombone. He couldn't figure out the slide. And one day he came up and said, "Hey man, I'm starting a band. You want to be in my band?" And I thought, well, that'd be fun. And that was Phil Richardson. And so I played in this band called Just Walking for the next 3.5 years of college. The weekend before I went to medical school, we backed up Boz Scaggs down at the Austin Opry House. And so that was my minimal claim to fame. But there was a period when Neil kind of had the outs with our parents over a lot of stuff, and my dad didn't want him to quit school and all of this stuff. And I remember there was a Christmas Eve, he'd been gone for a couple of years, and my dad didn't drink a lot of beer, but he liked beer, and I bought him a case. Back then in college, we were drinking this Carlsberg Elephant. It's fairly awful malt liquor, but I took a case of that for my dad. And the night before New Year's, my dad and I had a beer, and then Neil showed up. And everybody was so happy, and Neil and I finished that case. We were both pretty soggy the next day. But Neil was a good guy. He was really interesting guy. They say that a man that loves his work never has to work a day in his life. And that's good, because Neil didn't like work at all. He loved playing, but when it came to work, there was nothing. I think he found his first 1040 when he was like 46 or 47 or something. I was in there, and he's got all these papers on the table, and he goes, "This is bullshit, man." And I said, "Neil, this is what all adults do." But there are a lot of stories, but I remember one. We used to drive up when I was an intern in San Antonio. We'd drive up to hear him play in Austin. We'd get here about 8, stay up till about 2, drive back to San Antonio, and then I'd be an intern in the hospital for the next 24 hours. I mean, you can't do that unless you're really young. But I don't remember how many years ago, but they were going to have a reunion, the Steam Heat, Extreme Heat. And we couldn't go, but my wonderful kids who are sitting in the back, they went, and Eddie had like a cardiac arrest on stage. And he's fortunately survived, but the funny part was he wouldn't have survived if Bruce's cardiologist had not been in the audience, okay? And I was sitting.
I had my heart attack here.
And you know, the thing is, one of my kids said, "These are all old people." And I said, "Get used to it. You get old." But I want everybody to know that don't have a heart attack and not expect me. You're shit out of luck. I'm a hand surgeon. Okay? Anyway, I really want to thank everybody for coming. I hope to get by and say hello to every one of y'all. But you know, Neil and I went different paths, you know, but it was okay. We always got along, and you know, but he kind of lived in this sphere, and I kind of lived over here. So at any rate, really thank y'all for coming. I really appreciate it.
We're going to open up if anybody else would like to come up and say something about Neil. Just you're welcome to come up here and do that. I warned everybody, though, not if you're going to expose his love child. We're not going to. Secret love child is not. We don't want to do that. Not here right now. So we played together for 50 years, but we met before we were in this band for 50 years. A long time ago, in 1973, we both got signed by the same agent/management company. They were called Yard Productions. And they had a warehouse up off of Kramer Lane that they turned into some studios. And they had these bands that they signed, they had them move all their equipment in there and then practice to get ready for the showcase or whatever we were going to do for them. I can't remember. And so that's where I first met Neil. His band was there, and it was called Nimble. And they were way better than us, and I was worried, oh man, these guys are going to beat us out to a record deal. We're not, these guys are going to, you know, these guys were great. We kind of sucked. And so we went up there to practice one weekend. It was shortly after the whole thing started, about maybe a month and a half into it. We got there, and the security guard let us in, and we got the rehearsal room, and there was nothing in there. Went over to their rehearsal room, and there's none of Nimble's equipment either. Matter of fact, none of the rehearsal rooms had equipment in it. The guy turned out he was a scammer, and he just signed us all so he could load all our equipment into a truck and drive off with it. So that's how Neil and I first met, in the real show business. So I didn't see him. I saw him around town after that, here and there, you know, and he had a reputation as being the best keyboard player in town. We saw him play with Just Walking, and when we started, we had another band for a while, but we decided we wanted to start a new band, and we could call it Steam Heat, the one that became Steam Heat. And we wanted Neil really bad in the band, but he wasn't really that interested. So somehow we got to know Phil. And so Phil said, oh man, I can get him in the band. So we said, okay, that's great. He said, yeah, but I got to be in the band too. We said, no problem. And so that's how he ended up in the band with us. And he was originally, I don't know if you guys know this, from Texas City, where he said everything either makes noise or stinks. And I remember him telling me some great childhood memories. He said, you know, it snowed a couple of times, but generally what we called snow was some kind of stuff that came out of the smokestacks of the petrochemical plants and sort of looked like snow. And, is that right, Joey? Yeah, Joey, one of his high school friends here to talk, ladies and gentlemen, Joey, he's going to say some things. What, you want to come up and talk about it? How about a hand for him? Joey Lefebvre, ladies and gentlemen. Come around this side over here. Joey, y'all.
Hey. So me and Neil, we went to high school together. We were in the band together. I was first trumpet. He was first clarinet. And he was really good too. He was state. He went state clarinet. But as soon as he didn't have to play clarinet anymore, he never played it again. He loved the piano. And we became really good friends in high school. He would do crazy things, you know, learning to be Neil. The director of the orchestra in high school, he made a swing band between graduation and college, of about 20 or 25 kids to play the local, places around Galveston. And so we played Glenn Miller and stuff like that for ballroom dancing and stuff. And so we did that in Galveston. We played the Galvez Hotel and stuff like that. Played Glenn Miller and stuff like that. And he would, they would play a lot of music, and it was over the radio. And one time they had a snafu, and there was some dead air, and you don't want dead air on the radio. It was like 3 seconds, and all of a sudden Neil starts playing like he knew what to do. He was born to it. He starts going diddly-dun, diddly-dun, diddly-diddly-diddly-dun, playing cartoon music like out of nowhere. Yeah, he knew what to do right away. He's 17, you know. He knew what to do. And another time, he comes over. We were driving, but we still didn't have our own cars, you know. So he had to borrow his mom's car, dad's car. He comes over and he goes, "Come on, I want to show you something." So I get in the car and we drive over to Galveston and we go to the Strand. And this is in the early 70s. The Strand was not like it is now. It was very scary. You were only going over there for a couple of weird reasons, you know. We stop in this dark place and we walk around the corner, knock on the door, and this guy lets us in, waves us in. We go to this other door and this guy slides the window open, lets us in, and there's only like 2 chairs in there and a piano. Neil plays the piano for about an hour. I don't know what they were doing in the back room. You know, it was either a gambling place or a prostitution place, but he knew where they were, where to go, and where the pianos were. And that's what he loved to do. He loved playing the piano. We walked around in Texas City. He saw a top hat sitting on top of a pole, and somebody had just forgotten about it or left it there. That became his hat. So for like 2 or 3 weeks, he wore it everywhere. So we went to a concert. We went to Leon Russell, who was immensely popular at that time, like 1970, 71. We go to Leon Russell, and it was festival seating, where everybody just ran in and ran to the front. And it was so crowded, it got dangerously crowded. And everybody ran to the front, and I was on the floor, and I couldn't even lift my arms for 45 minutes. And they were like lifting bodies, you know, getting them to the side and everything. And Neil hadn't gotten down to the posh pit. He was over here. He throws his top hat and it lands on the piano. Leon puts the hat on and gets up and tells everybody, "Come on, baby, you're going to have to move back," and gets everybody to move back. And then he starts singing. He sings 3 or 4 songs with Neil's hat on and made Neil's day. You know, it was a lot of fun. He did a lot of crazy stuff like that. But he was really a loyal friend. He never forgot about me all through the years. He would call up, leave a message on my phone. "We're playing the Steamboat tonight. You know, I got you and Mary on the list if you want to come down." And we would go down to the Steamboat and dance our asses off, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I saw him play college, parties and everywhere, to the Dillo. He invited me to share his ride. He never forgot about me. He was a very loyal friend, and I miss him very much. So, love you, Neil.
That was awesome, man. Joey. reminded after Chris said those things about him being sort of allergic to work or not liking work that much. I'm reminded of a couple of things he used to say. He used to say, hard work pays off in the future, but laziness pays off now. And another one he would follow that up with was, why are you hating on lazy people? We didn't do anything. As I mentioned earlier, people would always say to me, you know, he's so quiet. And he was kind of shy around people he didn't know. But in reality, those of you who knew him knew he was quite verbose. And one of the things that really, really liked about Neil is what we used to call the late show. Right, so we would travel all over the country. This is about in the 80s and 90s, and we played all over. We played a lot in Colorado and New Mexico, Oklahoma, Louisiana. We had long drives. And we would go places, and on the way there, it was kind of sullen and silent. You get there, and we do the gig, and you get paid, and everybody's happy, and you get back in the truck, and that was kind of the golden hour when we would all be together, you know, as a group, and having fun because the pressure was off. And that was his time. He was in charge of the late show, and this is true, y'all. He would get to this point where he would tell all these jokes and sing these songs and tell stories, and it was fantastic. We all loved it. But there was a purpose to it. We had to drive a long way, and we're tired by this time and probably maybe a little drunk. And he would keep us awake until we got home doing the late show. And what his brother said about him, he was probably the smartest person I ever met. He was brilliant. And a great lyricist and a great songwriter. And we're going to play some of those songs for you here in just a minute. We selected some and made a little special set to play for you guys. And we're going to continue playing them and continue his legacy. Yeah, come on around, or if you can get through there with help from Marty. I don't know, don't want to knock his stuff over. But just be careful walking up. We're going to continue his legacy, which is, I don't know if you guys know this, but about 2 years ago, he became too infirm to really play anymore, and he was unable to get on and off the stages and move his gear and stuff. The last time he actually played with us was the Sun Radio live broadcast back in August of 23. And at that time, he said, man, I just can't do it anymore. And I told him, look, man, we're going to continue playing your songs. You always have a place in this band. If you bounce back, come on back. And it was his intention to do that. It just unfortunately never happened. But I told him at that time we were going to continue his legacy by playing his songs then. He was happy about that, and we're going to continue doing that now. And we have a new record out with those songs on it. If you all feel like getting that, that would be great. I promised my wife it would sell. Neil Howerton, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi there. Yeah, I'm Neil Howerton. I went to high school with Neil Pederson also. In fact, Joey and I became friends back in elementary. So I'm actually better friends with Joey. But when I ended up at UT after high school, that's where I started hanging out with Neil. And when we'd get together and introduce ourselves to somebody, I would say, my name is spelled N-E-A-L, and I'd say, well, I'm Neal, and he's Neil. And so I was hanging out with Neil when we were going to UT, and then at some point, he met a fellow by the name of San Mandalas, and his first band was the San Mandalas Trio. And I remember going with them when they were playing a gig at the One Night, and and then they had a van out in the parking lot, and during the intermission we were out there and getting high, and then Sam shows up and goes, "What are you doing, man? You got to get on stage." "Oh, okay," you know. and some late night, I remember him kind of doing a little thing on the piano, and he says, "I got the dog food blues again, Mama. I stepped in some Alpo on the way home."
We heard a lot about the San Mandalas Trio, actually, and you guys played a place down in on the coast, right? Where there was kind of rough, run by a Greek guy. Is this ringing a bell? And he said the Greek guy always told him that there was one song they couldn't play,
and I think it was Wildflower. Is that right? Does it sound right? And he said, so one night they thought, well, why can't we play this song? And so they thought, we'll wait till the very end of the night. Chris, do you know this story? Have you heard this before? And the guy that owned the place, do not pick the Wildflower. Do not pick this Wildflower. So they decided they were going to pick the Wildflower at the end of the night. And so they wait till the very last song. And so they launch into it, and everybody stood up and started throwing everything. And there was a big melee in the place, and they got fired, I think, is what he told us. So is that right? I mean, that's the way he told that story. Anybody who'd like to come up and say something about Neil, this is an opportunity to do so. We're going to play a set of some of his songs here just in a minute. In the meantime, a couple of things I'd like to say. One of them is when he joined our band, he was, when he started playing piano at 7, and by the time he was 10, y'all, he was playing in Jones Hall. He had a really great teacher. What was her name? Hauptman? Helen Haupt. And the way and the way he described her, I think, tell me if I'm wrong or not, he would put out she would put out matchsticks on the piano and then stand there behind him while he played, smoking cigarettes. And every time he made a mistake, she'd take away one of the matchsticks. All right, and then by the time you get to the end, if there was matchsticks left, well, you're doing all right. If there's no matchsticks, you need to practice more. But she was really strict with him. And the way he described her to me, at least, I always pictured, do you remember that lady in From Russia with Love that had the knife in her shoe? Say it again, But anyway, that paid off, y'all. That kind of discipline paid off to the point where he was playing in Jones Hall. By the time he was 10, he had a recital in Jones Hall in Houston. And then he got scholarships to the UT to play in the classical program, and that was a big deal. And he did quite well, but he was just, all the time he was called by popular music and wanting not to be a classical pianist, and he decided to do that. And when he came to our band, y'all, the discipline and the ability that he had raised everybody else's level, because he demanded it of himself, so we demanded it of ourselves too, because he was a perfectionist and worked really hard at what he did, and that rubbed off on us, and it made us a better band having him there. And that was true the entire time he was in our band, from the beginning to the end. And I think the people in my band would agree with that he raised the level of what we did. His songwriting is fantastic. Some of y'all might be familiar with Dinosaur in Blue. We'll play it. We're going to play it, of course, but he's got a whole catalog, a whole bunch of other songs that I think are great too. And so we're going to keep bringing them back. We brought back a couple tonight that we haven't done in a long time. And we're going to keep bringing those back, some of the ones from the past that you might have heard back in the day at Liberty Lunch or at Steamboat or at the Armadillo. Let's see, I'm probably forgetting something important I wanted to say. Who else wants to come up and say something? Don't everybody rush the stage now. I want chaos. Here we go. Oh, how about Claude? Are you going to come up? Come on around here. Claude McCann, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for him? Thank you for coming, man.
Oh, I just wanted to say what an inspiration Neil was to all of us Austin keyboard players. Because Austin is like a guitar town, All the hot guitar players are here, but when I came here in the 70s and I used to go see Extreme Heat all the time, he was just a super big inspiration to become better. He was like super technically gifted and had a lot of soul, so you can't beat that. And it's just a lot of us here that play keyboards in Austin that I think got a lot of inspiration from Neil. So that's all.
Very nice. I saw Barry Wilson back there. Barry, you want to say something? Leave me alone? Sorry. Don't be shy if anybody wants to come up. This is your opportunity, and we want to remember Neil and hear those good stories too. I got plenty of good stories. I can tell one here. Well, here we go. Hold on. Somebody's heading this way. It's Barry. Be careful walking up here. Barry Wilson, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, how y'all doing? Anyways, Neil was, we were very good friends. There was a point for a few years where we were roommates. I put a little band together here in Austin. He was in that for a little while. But I went out to L.A. and had a lot of success out there. But Neil was so gifted as a keyboard player. It was just, I mean, as gifted as about anybody I've ever seen. And I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that, or I just had to say that. And plus, Bruce called me out.
This way.
I said Bruce, but some of y'all might know him as Mr. Frank Furter.
I'm going to just relate a quick story. We were doing, I think it was a Monday here. We had a residency for a while. And one night I got together with a friend who, rather one afternoon, he said, hey man, let's do some mushrooms and we'll go down to Burn Springs. And I was like, that sounded like a great idea. It was Monday. And so we did some, we hung out, the trip went bad, and I remember going back to the house, and I couldn't tie my shoes, let alone pick up a bass. And I called down here and told the guys, look, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I'm freaking out. And they said, well, just come on down. So I came down, and Neil Pederson was there. He came up and said, hey man, I can't remember exactly his words, but it was something like, so I hear you talk to God or something like that. And he said, come on over and sit down at the bar. And we sat down together at the bar, and he bought a beer, and he said, there, just drink a beer, focus, get it together, you're going to be all right. Just realize you took He was like that dude on Saturday Night Live when Jimmy Carter was giving advice about, he said, I'll take this, I'll field this. You got yourself some orange sunshine, son. Anyway, so he talked me down, and he made me able to do the show that night. I got through it, and I had to thank Neil that night.
All right, so in a little while, y'all, we're going to do a song that Neil wrote. You guys might know this one, called French, for a couple of days. And Gary was on that record with us, and Gary Herman, and he's the only one that remembers the French part. So he's going to come up and do the French part in a little while. Anybody else remember the French part? Oui, oui. All right. Us. So how are we doing on time? We have to be done at 5 because there's another band coming. But, well, that's all right. It seems like we're right on time here. All right, so come on. Who else wants to say something? I know you're just itching. Somebody, Georgina just brought up a copy of Ezra Pound book that Neil had lent her. She's bringing it back now. Thank you. And she said she loved that and used to talk poetry with him. He also wrote a lot of great poetry. And do you want to come up and do one of those poems, Georgina? Oh, no. I can't read it. I can't see in this environment. I'm sorry. No, you're good. Georgina, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It's all good. So, please, anybody who wants to come up, we're gonna play a short set here of some of his greatest hits. Before we do so, there's still time if you'd like to say something. Anything? I could tell a story. Some of you probably heard this story, but I'll tell it anyway because it just comes to the top of my mind right away because it's a pretty good one. And so we used to play a lot in Houston and Dallas and San Antonio, and a lot of times we'd be kind of in a hurry to get there, believe it or not. And one time Phil showed up to pick us up in a car that wasn't his because, well, he didn't have a car. And so he picked up Neil and I, and those guys, it was back in the days when you could still drink in the car. You guys remember that? I mean, you could drink in the car. It didn't matter unless you were drunk, but you could drink. So they were drinking. I was sitting in the passenger side, and Phil was driving. And Neil was in the back seat with about a pile of beer cans that reached the top of the front seat. All right, because they were drinking. I can't drink that early in the day. I just go to sleep. But they were pounding them back. And So we hit I-10 and we're trying to go really fast to get to this club. It was kind of a fancy supper club and we had to dress up. So Phil's going as fast as he can, and of course that's right when the police saw us. And so Neil had decided right shortly before that he was going to change his clothes because we were going to be in a hurry. All right, so right when the officer walked up, he had just taken off his pants in the back of the car. And so the officer walks up and Phil rolls down the window and he says, "May I see your license, please?" It was before they asked for the other, the insurance and all that. And Phil said, "Well, I don't have it with me." He said, "Well, let me just give me your name and I'll go back and check it and we'll get this thing straightened out." So he gave his name and his information. The police goes back to the car and comes back a minute later and says, "There's no record of you having a license." He's like, "Oh, yeah." And so, meanwhile, Neil's still pantsless in the back of the car. The cop says, "Okay, so I just stopped you guys, and this isn't even your car," because he already figured that out. "And you don't have a license, and this guy's not wearing any pants, And this, he said, "I don't want to know what's going on." He said, he looks over at me and he goes, "Hey, you got a license?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he says, "You're going to drive, you're going to sit over here, and you put your pants on." I don't know how we got out of that situation, y'all, but I think it was the end of his shift. He just didn't want to deal with whatever the hell that was going to be. Yeah, we traveled all over the country and had a lot of fun, y'all, and we played a lot of great music, largely because of him, because he's a great composer and a great band leader, and he did a great job keeping us fresh all the time, bringing new stuff, and he was, also a friend that I spent a lot of time with outside of the band as well. We once went to London together, and that was, I don't think I can tell those stories. Never mind. Anybody else? Come on. Anybody somebody's got a story they want to tell. All right, then I guess we'll get, if nobody wants to, we'll start getting the band up here. How about the band guys?
So this first song, it's dedicated to a friend of his who's here tonight, and they came all the way from San Antonio, and thank you very much. You're very nice. And this is one that we re-recorded with a brand new arrangement in New York at Atlantic Records right before the pandemic, and it's on the record. And this one is called "Difference to Me."
Oh, I love this one.
It's gonna happen anyway. Well, you don't know what you're gonna get till Lisa lights her cigarette, and she can blame it on me. Yeah, 'cause after all, it's his story. And she's got eyes that she can see. That makes a difference to me. See, that makes a difference to me, Well, there were starlit breezes and a moonlit night. I wish we could share such It's delighting, and she don't know till she finds out exactly what I'm talking about. She's got hair and she's got feet. That's not what make her complete. Yeah, she's got hair and she's got feet. That's not what makes her complete. Never heard a word I say. Yes, I might be dead. Not another her like she. That made a difference to me. To me. Party up. She's got hair and she's got feet. That's not what make her complete. Yeah, she got hair and she's got feet, but that's not what makes her complete. Oh, no. I never heard a word I say. Yes, I might believe it. Not another her like she. That makes a difference to me. I'll never word I say. Guess I might as well be dead. Not another her like she. That make a difference to me. Since 1974, ladies and gentlemen, see me in Extreme Heat. Putting the disco back and disconnected from reality. We really appreciate y'all coming out here to celebrate the life of Neil, y'all. Thank you so much. How about a big hand for Neil? You know, he's one of the few guys I knew whose name was a verb and a noun. All right, so we're going to do another one of his tunes. So what do you talk about? Year before. All right, so this one is from the record that's titled the same title, which is A Year Before the War, and it may be a metaphor. Here we go. So young, and that's what gave us the right to say we live for nothing, to claim the night. Yeah, we were ruthless and cool. We were nobody fool. Yeah, we were bad. We never questioned why we had no direction. We never let them make a single inspection. After the time, thought nothing of crime, 'cause we were bad, so such treasure in our profane pleasure. We knew that someday they might meet at the measure, but ruthless and loose, and we were wild and obtuse. Yeah, we were bad. We some left out in the nation, and they sleep with the stars. They keep insects in jars, cause they bad so bad. In that year before the war, we knew that something was coming, something we'd never seen before. In that year before the war, well, we will not worry. We'll have no time, so we'll have to hurry. There is no judge, there was no jury when we were young. Yeah, when we were young. Away with all that we could connive. Our sole intention, try to stay alive, and it was ugly and mean. It was crass and obscene, but we were bad. We waited for someone to turn out the lights. If it never happened, we continue in spite, cause it was just you and me, and it was easy to see that we were bad, so bad. Something was coming, something we'd never seen before. We knew that something was coming, something we'd never seen before. Hey, we knew that something was coming. We thought we were bad. Neil Pederson, Year Before the War, ladies and gentlemen, and that one's on our new record too. And you know, one of the things that Neil really liked was that what he liked to call the swamp sound. He liked that New Orleans thing. He liked it a lot. He loved to go to New Orleans. As a matter of fact, when he was during the time when we had our little hiatus and we all had different bands and we're doing different things, and Neil and I had a band called the Insinuators, and we did a bunch of his songs, and we tried to kind of concentrate on that groove. But he was particularly happy when he played with Papa Molly, who was from Louisiana, and they used to play at Tipitina's and places like that all the time, and he loved that. So this next song reflects that whole swamp rock thing that he was into, that whole Louisiana feel, and this one is called Blindness. Never into chicken and rice or anything that had to say. Cadillacs, moonbeams, plenty of ice, and lust just like a holiday. Don't you worry, sonny, everybody told me nothing gonna get in your way. I didn't look for trouble, I bet it all double and nothing, and I slipped away. But it was blindness. Blindness. to go. Please step to line number 2 if your name begins with an N or an O. People spend a whole lifetime in the tropics, never see a flake of snow. They work all day, drive home to the suburbs. It's little Joe from Kokomo with blindness. 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 Mike Barnes on the guitar. All right, well, I'd like to introduce everybody, if you don't mind. How about on drums, Carlos Eduardo Cantu, Eddie Cantu. On percussion, James Fenner. On bass guitar, David Everton. Playing the part of Neil, it's Marty Van Blair. On trombone, give it up for Ken Mills. On saxophone, Stephen Bay. My name is Bruce. As you know, I'm still pissed off about that. Put your hands together for the leader of the band, driver of the Winnebago. That's Mike Barnes on lead guitar. So this next song is one he wrote a long time ago, and then we played it for a while with a whole different arrangement, and then we brought it back with a brand new arrangement back in, 2016. And we made a video and stuff, and it's a song that Sun Radio played that one time. And no, just kidding, they were really nice to play it, and we really appreciate them playing it. And this is one called I Saw Through You, and the arrangement calls for me to sing it in falsetto, but I'm 71 years old, and that's one reason we stopped doing it all the time, is because I don't really sing up there very much anymore. But I'm going to try to do the best I can, so please don't throw things at me. There probably won't be much falsetto, more just croaking, just sort of. But in any case, this is one that I always really liked that he wrote. It's called I Saw Through You. That was just before you saw through me. Yeah, I thought you knew. Well, I thought you knew that I would always be the way I am. And if it wasn't me, then who? Well, it all seemed to fit some diagram. I tried so hard to be fair. It's not the same unless you're there. I had my speech all memorized. I think it's one you recognize. I saw through you. I thought you knew. I saw through you. That was just before you saw through me. Tried so hard to be fair. It's not the same unless you're there. I had my speech all memorized. I think it's one you recognize. 'Cause I saw through you, but I thought you knew. Neil Pederson, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so as you probably know, Neil was married to Danielle for 40, how long? Since 1984 until just recently when she unexpectedly passed away. And she, of course, spoke French because her mother was from Belgium. So she spoke French as a second language, but she was a fluent speaker. And Neil learned because he was around them all the time, and his mother-in-law was talking about him in French. So he figured, I better learn exactly what she's saying. And so he did. And so they took a lot of trips. That was their big joy in life, was to take really nice vacations. And they spent a lot of time going to French-speaking places. And so it was just natural that he would write a song called French for a Couple of Days. And this sort of reflects some of his attitude toward all that, because the first line is, I want to be French for a couple of days so I can ignore everything you say. I'm just saying.
Oh, Bruce.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're going to bring up, right now, we're going to bring up Gary Herman, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to sing with us, because he played on the record, and he played with us back in the early, or the mid-90s.
Check, just making sure it's for this part.
It was the mid-90s, right, Gary? Mid-90s?
Yeah, that's correct.
It was back in the mid-90s. And right now you can see him with?
Kevin Fowler.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. But I think you guys are on a little hiatus right now, right? Are you guys on a hiatus? You also remember he was in Joe Ely's band and also played with the Flatlanders. Gary Herman, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. Chris?
Do you know what the French quote means?
Do I know what the what is?
The French quote in this song.
Well, yes, but
I asked him like a week before he passed because I didn't know what it meant.
right.
It means something incredibly stupid.
I can take
Yes.
this one.
Go ahead, Gary.
I can take this one. The first one, the phrase, which actually is, don't call me Frenchy. And the second one is, my room is not air conditioned.
Which you can 100% hear Neil saying that all day long at the front desk of some hotel trying to get his French to go, the air conditioning is not working in my room. That reminds me of a good story. We used to play at this place down in Houston called the Pig and Whistle. You guys ever go to that place, Pig and Whistle? They're run by these crazy Irish guys, you know. And so when we get there to happy hour, he would go, "Oh man, you guys got to have some beers." And Neil was ready, you know. So we'd have some beers, you know, and he'd tell us, he'd send us off back to the hotel and say, "Well, you can start at about 9:30." And we'd say, "Yeah, fine." So we go back to the hotel, and Neil decides he's going to take a nap. So he wakes up at 8 o'clock and looks around. It's still light. Looks at the clock. It's 8 o'clock. He calls down to room service and says, I want to order some breakfast. The guy goes, "No, sorry, sir, but we don't serve breakfast this time of day." "What do you mean? It's only 8 o'clock. And, you know, it's already light. I want my breakfast." The guy goes, "No, sir, it's 8 in the evening." And goes, "What? Don't give me that shit. Just send us something." We had to stop and go, "Neil, do you remember the gig?" "No." "Yeah. We haven't done it yet." Here's French for a couple of days. For a couple of days, so I can just ignore everything that you say. Listen up and get out of my way. If I fuck up, take it out of my pay. I like to be a sheik for a couple of weeks. I get so tired of watching repeats of Twin Peaks. Disagree with all your critiques, and I'm tired of entertaining all you freaks. I want everything that I can get, and I don't care if you're not finished yet. I wanna be French for a couple of days, so I can say,
M'appelle pas François.
okay. I wanna be rich like that guy in Brunei. It might be tough, but I'll give it a try. There won't be anything that I can't buy, and that's better than a stick in the eye. I'd like to be Dutch if there's not too much. Proud of him, your tender touch. Jesus, come and take my crutch. I wanna be Dutch if there's not too much. I want everything that I can get. I don't care if you're not finished yet. I wanna be French for a couple of days, so I can say,
Accoucher n'est pas climatisé.
hey, hey. Then I'll be free as a bird in flight, disappear into the night. Won't need fair weather friends, money to spend, or cause to depend on you. No, not one more peep out of you. No, not one more squeak out of you. say, listen up or get out of my way. If I fuck up, take it out of my pay. I'd like to be a sheik for a couple of weeks. I get so tired of watching repeats of Twin Peaks. I disagree with all the critiques, and I'm tired of entertaining all you freaks. I want everything that I can get. I don't care if you're not finished yet. I wanna be French for a couple of days, so I can say,
Je ne m'appelle pas François.
okay, hey. Then I'll be free as a bird who flies, disappear into the night. Won't need fair weather friends, money to spend, or cause to depend on you. No, not one more squeak out of you. No, not one more squeak out of you. I wanna be French for a couple of days, so I can ignore everything that you say. No, not one more squeak out of you. No, not one more squeak out of you. I wanna be French for a couple of days. Extreme heat, ladies and gentlemen. Gary Herman. Thank you to Gary Herman. Thank God he remembered the French.
Gary Harmon, bass player to the Stars.
Wow, that was awesome. That's the best we've ever played that since since we quit playing it about 50 years ago. So we really appreciate y'all coming out here and supporting us and supporting Neil and remembering Neil on this day. And we're gonna miss him, y'all, and we already do. And, but like I said before, we're gonna continue his legacy and play his songs. And this next song is probably the one he's best known for and the one that everybody seems to love. And for the life of me, I don't understand why it's not a huge hit, or it hasn't gone farther. And I've always felt like that was my fault, because I just wasn't able to give it what it deserves, because it's a fantastic song, y'all. And it's called Dinosaur in Blue. Go around again, Mark. Channeling for Neil Pederson. Will you say that you've got plans? Are they castles in the sand? Will they crumble in your hand, or can they hold? You must have known that someday you grow old. Well, I can't understand the things you see at your command. It's not easy for a man like me. I guess I'll never see, 'cause I can't stop the world to keep my eye on you, and I can't tell them all to not watch what you do. And I'm so tired of telling you what you already knew. I guess you'll be a dinosaur in blue. Talking with your hands, and you're a slave to all your glands. Should we open up this can, or will it wait? I feel the fool, it must be getting late. Well, is our life so bland? Are we taxis at the stand? And have we done all that we can? And do we still feel that way? And I guess I always will, 'cause I can't stop the world to keep my eye on you do. And I'm so tired of telling you what you already knew. I guess you'll be a dinosaur in blue. To keep my eye on you, and I can't tell them all to not watch what you do. And I'm so tired of telling you what you already knew. I guess you'll be a dinosaur. You're gonna be a funky dinosaur. I guess you'll be a dinosaur in blue. Neil Pederson, let's hear it for him. Neil! I want to thank those of you who wore blue today. I saw you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to say just something really short.
Mike's going to say something.
Well, it's rare that you have a friend or an associate, somebody that's for 50 years. And I just want to parrot some of the things that have already been said. Number one, Neil was absolutely brilliant. He was a giant. And not only in his songwriting, which was great, but just when you hung around with him, he was wonderful. And I just want to say we're all real lucky that we got to experience that.
Yeah.
We could do red carpet. And then Survivor.
Yes, sir.
What do we do? Red carpet.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you. We were just too dumb to quit. I don't know. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much. Yes, we started in 1974, and we played pretty much continuously. We had a little bit of a hiatus there at the end of the 90s, but then we continued to play into the 2000s. Then when Fable Record had their re-release of our original record from the 70s, the Austin Funk record, we got back together to play full-time again because we were having so much fun. And we thank y'all because we wouldn't be able to do that without you. Y'all are the reason we get to do that. And thank you so much. 50 years, we can't thank you enough. And, we didn't come for the money. Seriously, we came to do it for you. We came because we love the music. And that's what Neil was about. Although if he was here, he would have said, are we getting paid? So right now, if you guys would give me a chance to get off stage, though, before you started, I'd appreciate that. We're going to feature a song off our 2013 CD. This is one from Solstice called Red Carpet.
on trombone. Saxophone. Yeah, Ken Mills on trombone. Stephen Vague on saxophone. Marty Van Blair on keyboards.
That was awesome. All right, so
Survivor.
Yeah. Cool. So how y'all doing now?
Bruce.
Made a trip back there in the back. I hope you guys know that we have refreshments back there in the back, and of course the merch table and all that with Neil's songs. And I want to particularly thank somebody who's invaluable to us. She runs our social media. She helps us get everything together. She helped us get the flyer together today. She's our biggest friend, and I've known her since we were in college together way back in the 70s. She's a Longhorn legend. She was a swimmer for the Longhorns and known throughout the world. And how about a big hand for Longhorn legend Peggy Little, ladies and gentlemen.
Peggy!
Wouldn't have come through without her, and we love you. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
I love you all.
And this one, I think it's called Survivor, right? And that's what we all are, right? Well, he was born under a sky that still held 9 planets. But while there were 2 worlds below, well, he just couldn't stand it. Underneath his sun, red, white, and blue, kept separate on equal two. He fought for change and he had through. 'cause he's a survivor. Well, there's so much more that we can do. So raise your hands in the air if you're a survivor too. Yeah, he was drafted by his Uncle Sam. Marvin went in the army. He was a lean, mean fighting machine. Left that real world behind him. Did a tour in Vietnam. Said that year seemed a lifetime long. But he's still here and that's all gone, 'cause he's a survivor. Well, let's not forget what they went through. And put your hands in the air if you're a survivor too. Well, back home on top of the world, he was all about the music. Yeah, he was singing and making a scene and living for the music. Out with the band on a touring day, some crazy shot him with a 38. But he pulled through and she's upstate, 'cause he's a survivor. Well, I remember all that he went through. Oh, raise your hands in the air if you're a survivor too. I said I remember all that he went through. So raise your hands in the air if you're a survivor too. Survivor too. Survivor. Survivor too. Survivor too. One more time, y'all. Here we go.
Yeah. Survivor. That's a song written by Bruce.
Who is this Bruce fellow? I need to get to know him. Once again, y'all, we really appreciate y'all coming here and doing this for Neil. Let's hear it for him once again. How about a toast to Neil? Neil! Get on again. No good. And we want to thank everybody here at the Saxon Pub for doing this. It was kind of on last minute notice and everything, and they made accommodations for this, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, Jody and the Saxon Pub, everybody that works here. How about a hand for them? Be sure and tip the bartenders and wait persons. We love it here. Of course, we started playing here way back in '92 or '3, whatever, when they first reopened here, and we had a residency here for a long time on Mondays, like Gary was talking about, and then on Wednesday nights for a long, long time. And we did weekends here forever here too. And then last year we played our 50th anniversary here. We really appreciate everything they do for us. Thank you so much. And then each and every one of y'all for coming out. Thank you so much. Here's a little song about current events. I woke up on a cloudy day. A storm was brewing. I can't believe a single thing you say or what you're doing. Can you tell me which way I should turn in this crazy mashup? I just hope we don't crash and burn and you trash our place out. Don't test the waters with both feet. Quickly find you're in too deep. The past is calling, don't answer it, 'cause it's got nothing new to say to you. Your actions spoke 1,000 words. Nobody heard them. All those crazies out in the suburbs, and now you know them. Ever driving this bus that we're on? Do you know where we're going? I just hope we don't get hit head on. You best be slowing down. Don't test the waters with both feet. Quickly find you're in too deep. The past is calling, don't answer it, 'cause it's got nothing new to say to you. And you're like the clouds, 'cause when you leave we'll have a brighter day. You're like the clouds, 'cause when you leave we'll have a brighter day. Stephen Begg on saxophone. Eddie Cantu on drums. David Everson on bass guitar. James Fenner on percussion. Marty Van Blair on keyboards. Ken Mills on trombone. Stephen Vega on saxophone. Mike Barnes on lead guitar. We hope to see y'all soon. Don't forget, we got some refreshments for everybody in the back. Please come back and have a little bite. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Pederson family.